Okay, I went completely crazy with this month's card kit from Simon Says Stamp. I have 7 cards to share with you. And these are really fun and also a great example of how many things you can make with items in the card kit. So all of these cards feature items from the kit, and I used hardly any other supplies. So that way I could give you a good example of the different kinds of things you can make with the kit. So let's get started with the first card here. And I will mention that I'm going to show you all the cards that I made first, and then I'll get to, after that, showing you how I made the shaker cards. So why don't I go ahead and show you these first. So this is one of the shaker cards that I made, and I really love this because this is a great example of how you can use those cardstock pieces. This one was actually one of the clear ones, but I put it on top of a piece of white cardstock and trimmed it out, so that way it was no longer see-through and pops off really nicely on this card. Now you can use them as the see-through elements, which I will show you later on, but this is a great example of how you can use those cardstock pieces in other ways as well. So I added that little cardstock piece on top of a shaker, which has a lot of the really pretty pattern papers included from the Pebbles Hooray collection, and I really love that. And then there's also, of course, some rainbow seed beads mixed in there as well, which really matched up nicely with the sprinkles in the pattern paper. And of course, you get that great shaker sound. Now, I'll also mention that all of the shaker cards that I made today feature my favorite way of making shaker cards. It is my favorite technique, which is using acetate and sandwiching the acetate, sandwiching your shaker pieces between 2 pieces of acetate. That allows your sequins and shaker beads and whatever other types of materials that you're going to put inside your shaker to move so much better. And I'll demonstrate that later on in the video. So that's one of the cards. Another card I made features, again, those cardstock pieces. I used this cute little cake, but I also paired it up with one of our previous released card kit stamp sets called Best Ever. And I really love the sentiment in this kit because it is a perfect font to match with almost anything. So that stamp set, I used one of the happy birthday sentiments and stamped it onto some of the red cardstock, heat embossed it, trimmed it out, and added it on top of the card here. And this really cute candles pattern paper matched up so nicely with the stripes on the cake. So I thought that was a really great addition to pair those two together. Finally, I also added some little confetti embellishments here along the sides of the cake, and that just helped finish off the entire card. A little bit of sparkle and shine, and I really love the clean and simple feel of this. Okay, this one is adorable. I love the little panda bear, and if you can see, there is some iridescent stars in there. I'll talk about those in a second. First, let's talk about the panda. The panda is one of our Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember release products, and he is adorable. He is the storybook or picture book panda, I'm sorry. And I die cut him from multiple pieces of black cardstock and white cardstock. So I've die cut him about 3 times on each piece, and then I layered them all together and created a dimensional panda, and I'll show you how I did that. Also, I attached him onto the card using some foam tape along with one of the cardstock embellishments from the kit. Also the party hat. This is an example of using it as a clear embellishment. I put the entire little scene here onto some of that pattern paper from Pebbles, and I added some pretty pink Posh iridescent stars in both large and small to add a little bit of sparkle and embellishment to the background, and I think it is so much fun. I really love how this card turned out. Okay, here's another card that I did, another shaker. This one again featuring those really cute little cardstock pieces and the pattern paper. I used rainbow diagonal stripes and also these cute little banner patterns. And then inside of the shaker, you'll see some of these really cute little beads that have a very clear and sparkly element to them. I think that's really pretty. And then I also even embellished the balloons on the dog with some glossy accents, just to help make them a little bit more shiny. I love this card. I think it is so cute. And again, I use that same technique for doing the shaker card, and I'll show you that, like I said, a little bit later. My third shaker is super fun, and again features those clear embellishments. I love how that really pops off of this entire shaker card so nicely. This one uses some sparkling clear seed beads from Pretty Pink Posh. So you can see them shaking around in the background. I also added some more of those cardstock embellishments onto the front here, and I did put a little bit of Spectrum Noir glitter on top of the stars, just to give them a little bit of shine. Here's another one of those really cool clear embellishments. So I added this on top of this piece of white cardstock with clear Cool Tack foam tape, which is a great foam tape for adhering translucent embellishments. So here's the Cool Tack foam tape. It is literally clear, and you really can't see it, especially when you hide it a little bit. So you can see I hid it behind the Y, behind the R, the P, and the E. And it's not too noticeable. It's a little bit more noticeable on the Y, but not too bad. So I added that on there, and I drew some little strings with a light gray Prismacolor color pencil, and again added one of those happy birthday sentiments. There are some pretty pink Posh confetti stars in the background, and I also matted a really cute pattern paper with balloons onto my card base, and that really just finishes off this whole card. One more card, and this one also is that great clean and simple feel, but it looks so cute. So I took some of those cardstock candles, added a cute little sentiment and some confetti behind it, popped that up onto a white card base or onto a white card panel. Then on my card base, I used some of those really cute cupcake pattern paper. I did die cut that with the Wrap Stitches memory box die as well as on this one. And I really think that this makes a really cute card. And all of the products from the Pebbles collection really match up so nicely together, which made making these cards so easy and so much fun. I could not stop making cards with this. I was going for hours doing this, and I loved it. I was doing it one night really late, and next thing I knew, it was past 12:30. But I was having so much fun, I totally forgot what time it was, and I wasn't tired either. So these were really fun cards to make. So if you keep watching, I'll show you how I did the shaker cards and how I put them together. It's a really fun and easy way to be able to make some really great shaker cards. And as you can tell, when I shake this shaker elements move inside of these cards so well. And this is only one layer of foam tape in between the two shaker pieces. So you can see you don't need a lot of dimension to get that shaker stuff to move. Because it's not paper with a little bit of texture, the clear acetate is so slick and it just lets those sequins move like crazy. Okay, so let's get started in the cards, and I will quit talking so you can see some more techniques in action. Alright, I started off all of my shaker cards by taking two Simon Says Stamp stitched rectangle dies, the largest and the next size below that, and I taped the two together to create a frame. These are going to be the frames that hold each of my shaker cards. So I did create a whole bunch of these, so I cut a few out of some white cardstock. Then I'm going to go ahead and start adding adhesive to the back side of each of the frames. This adhesive is 1/4 inch Scor-Tape, and I choose this particular adhesive because it is so strong and I know the shaker card isn't going to fall apart. Then I take my acetate and I sandwich this on top of my adhesive. This is going to be the window that sees into the shaker card itself. I'm going to trim off the excess because I usually like to go ahead and cut one that's a little bit larger than the frame itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on building one of my shaker cards, and I built all of them the exact same way. Now I also want to mention one thing about the clear chipboard pieces from Pebbles. I was putting my shaker together and trying to put this giraffe on there, and I'm like, what is this on the back? So I ended up peeling it off, and I'm like, aha! It's a clear film over the back side of your element, so that way you're not going to get any scratches or anything on it, and it'll be perfectly clear until you're ready to attach it down to your card. So you're going to want to go ahead and remove any of those little backing pieces off of any of your clear chipboard pieces. I'm attaching some other chipboard pieces from that Pebbles collection onto the front of the shaker using foam tape. Now just remember that none of those little chipboard or cardstock embellishments have any adhesive on the back. You're going to have to add your own adhesive to them. Now you also saw me die cut a little pattern paper piece from the Pebbles collection from the kit using one of the same large stitched rectangle dies, so that way it's the exact same size as my shaker. This is going to be what's behind the shaker. I'm putting my foam tape around the edges of the shaker and filling it with some seed beads from Pretty Pink Posh. Then I'm taking another piece of acetate and sandwiching those seed beads in between there. Now I have 2 layers of acetate with sequins, or in this case seed beads, in the middle. And because the acetate is so slick, it lets the seed beads or sequins move around so easily. And then we're able to attach that right on top of our pattern paper. For my card base, I want to use some more of that pattern paper from the collection, and this is one of my favorite things to do when trying to make a piece of paper that fits on top of an A2 card perfectly. I take the Simon Says Stamp Basic Rectangles dies, and the largest one in the set is an A2 size. So I just cut down the piece of paper that I wanted to have on top of my card and was able to cut it out so that way it fits on top of there perfectly because it's the A2 size. Then I'm attaching my entire shaker right on top of that card base. And I did build all of my shakers the exact same way. The only difference is that I use different embellishments on each card. So the layout on top of the shaker is different, but all of the shakers are built exactly the same. So if you want to make any of these shakers, just know that I just made them exactly the same, other than the fact that the embellishments on top were different. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the panda bear. I want to quickly show you what I did for this panda. I used the picture book panda die from Simon Says Stamp, and I die cut it 3 times from both black cardstock and white cardstock. Then after I die cut all of those pieces, I'm going to start layering them together to create my dimensional bear. So as I'm taking some liquid glue, I'm putting it all over the backside of each die cut and laying it on top of a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to rebuild the panda bear on this white cardstock, and then once I've got it all put together and dry, then I'll be able to go ahead and trim it out. And that's what gives me that really great dimensional looking panda bear that stands up off of this card so beautifully, and it has stability because it's multiple layers. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration on using the amazing new products that are included in the Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember Card Kit. I am not kidding you. This kit really is amazing, and I truly had so much fun building cards out of this kit. So I hope you enjoy as well. And if you enjoy this kit, you want to get it yourself, make sure you head on over to the Simon Says Stamp shop. I have the link in the video description below, and you can purchase the kit. This kit is limited edition, so once the kit sells out, we won't be putting any more in stock as far as the kits go, but you will be able to get pretty much all of these products that are in the kit on an individual basis. If you want to also see more information on each of the cards, including the products used on each one, head on over to my blog. I have all those details there as well. Thanks again for watching. I will see you again very soon with another video, and until then, thanks for watching.